In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to create and how to edit blog posts and static pages in WordPress. First, a word about the differences between pages and blog posts. It really has to do with the purpose for which you're creating the content. Functionally, you'll go into the interface and it'll look very similar. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that I describe that, because it's very easy just to go in, start typing, publish the thing, and have actually created a post when you meant to create a page, or create a page when you meant to create a post. So I just want to elucidate that a little bit. A blog post is really meant for dynamic content. So think of the commuter services blog, where we're writing about a new update for Star Metro service, or an upcoming T-Fare, or something like that, where it's happening now. It's something that we want to talk about, or it's a new tutorial on the TDM Pop website. That would go on the blog, and so you'd create a new post for that. And so you'll see over here on the left-hand side a menu for posts. That's where you'd go either to find a list of all the current posts or to create a new one. Now let's say, for instance, you have reason to create a new program. Let's say we start a commuter service as an additional program. Well, you could create a landing page for that program. For instance, we already have a landing page for the Emergency Ride Home program. That is a page, and it is not a post. We have posts on the Emergency Ride Home program that have described different aspects of it and how to use it and that sort of thing. But the landing page, the place people go to find out basic information about that, is a page. Likewise with PRMPT, we have a list of all the upcoming trainings on a page. We have a list of past trainings on a page, all in an order. So we use those because the content is rather static, stuff that's not really changing all that often. So let's create a new WordPress blog post here in the Commuter Services website. There are two different menus you can go to in order to do that. The first is over here in the left-hand side that says Posts, and then the flyout menu that says Add New, this second option. You could also go up here to the top bar where it says New, and they have several different choices for what you can do. The first one being Posts. So let's click on that and go over here to the Add New Post menu. Now you'll see this looks an awful lot like a Microsoft Word document, that there's actually the same kind of visual editor here. Now if you only see one line of editing tools, it's because you need to toggle what they call the kitchen sink, the show hide button here, to give you that second bar if you want a few additional options. But here's the new post menu. So let's just put together something really quick. I've got some text on my clipboard here that I'll just paste in. And so as you can see, it's really easy to come in here and add text. You can, just like a Word document, you can go into make some stuff bold and other things italic. You can create lists if that's what you want to do. Let's make that a little bit easier. And so it's really easy just to add the formatting that you want for that blog post. Let's say also that you want to add an image. You can, let's say we want to add it at the very beginning. We'll put our cursor here right before the first word. And we'll go up here to the Add Media button. And I'm going to add an image that we already have within our website in the media library. Let's say we want to add in the image of Strive Not to Drive. Let's add in this square image right here. Now there's going to be different sizes for this image. And down here you can see the attachment display settings. So you can align that image in a particular direction. If you do left, it will always be to the left of that paragraph text. You can do center or right. I typically do right when it's a logo, and you'll see what that looks like in a second. I typically also don't have a link for that kind of an image. Sometimes if I want to put a custom URL, let's say if I have a Star Metro image, sometimes I'll link to the Star Metro site, but typically I'll do no link to images. And then you can select the size of that image that you want. Right here we have 3 sizes. Depending on how large the initial image was when you first uploaded it, will depend on how many sizes you see displayed here. Right now we have 3 options. I'm going to go with full size. The 300 by 299 size isn't too big, so we'll go ahead and insert into post, and you'll see a preview of that image right here, and it's in the format that it's going to be displayed, because as I showed you, we selected this to be aligned to the right, and so that's why it appears there on the screen. Well, since Strive Not to Drive is an event that has to do with carpooling, let's go ahead and choose the category carpooling over here on the right-hand menu. And there are other options down here available to you. This box that's called WordPress SEO by Yoast. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. You can come in here and add in some ways of optimizing that post. It's not required, but if you want to toy around with that, it might help Google find the post a little bit better. You can create a featured image so that when somebody shares our post on Facebook, this image would be the one that gets selected. So let's say we really wanted our commuter services logo to be the featured image. We could select that here. If you don't select the featured image, it will choose the first image available within the post. So in this case, let's just stick with that. If, for example, if somebody's managing your blog posts, let's say, for example, I'm managing the blog posts and Jeff sends me the text that he wants in a post. Well, I want to attribute that post to Jeff, so I can go into here in this authors menu, scroll down, find Jeff on the list, and select him as our author so that he gets the credit for having written this post. So let's say that we want to save this draft. We don't want to publish it just yet for one reason or another. We can come up here to the Publish menu, but select Save Draft. And so now we can see that in this yellow dialog box, it says that the post draft has been updated. We can preview the post either by clicking this link up here in the yellow box, but if that yellow box isn't there, let's say we've just gone back into this post, but we haven't saved it recently, and that yellow box doesn't appear, we can always come over here to this link where it says preview. It will open up a preview of that post, which you can see right here. Now we see that our text is just as we formatted it. We had that one line that we put in bold. We have that one line that we made into a bulleted list. You can see our image, which was put off to the right. And if we scroll down, we'll also see that the comments are currently closed simply because we haven't published the post yet. But when we publish the post, we'll have a comment section there for people to add comments. So let's go back into that post to edit it some more. If you'll see at the very top bar here, the edit post link. You can go back into this post and edit what we have here. And let's say that, you know, from what I saw, you know, there was a couple of changes I wanted to make. I can go back in here and make this line italic. And I can you know, make whatever other changes I want. Let's say right here I want to add in a link. I can go to this button right here, insert edit link. And so let's say I want that text to link to the commuter services homepage. You can go down here to the blue button that says add link, and now we have a link there. So let's say I've now made the changes that I want to make. These are the changes I want to make, not just for the time being, but I'm ready to publish it. Let's say that I want to publish it right now. Well, I just go to this blue button, click it, and it'll be published immediately. But I could also choose to publish it in the future. Let's say that I have finished writing this at 9 in the morning, but I really don't want it to get published until noon, let's say. So I can go to the to this edit button and actually schedule when that post gets published. And so I can say, instead of having it be published at 10:55, which is what time it happens to be right now, I can change that and have it selected to be published at noon, and click OK. And right now it says schedule for such and such a date, such and such a time. And so, and this button that used to say publish now says schedule. I can click that and it'll be published in the future. And so I'm not actually going to click publish on here because I don't want it to go live. But that's how you would do that. If you want to get rid of the post completely, you can click on this button that says move to trash. Now it'll be sitting in the trash bin the same way that if you put a file in the trash can, it will be sitting there, and you can restore it, but you can also empty the trash can and get rid of it completely. And so for now, let's go ahead and just save draft, save all of our changes. I now want to show you how to create a new page. Very similar. It's almost identical to the process we were just through. You go over here to the menu that says Pages, and you can create a new page by going to Add New. You can also go up to this top menu again and click on the New Page button here. And again, it looks identical, and so we want to make sure that we choose the right one at the beginning. Thankfully, it does say up here at the top, Add New Page, and likewise the Post button does say, or the Post menu rather, does say Add New Post, so you can check that to be absolutely certain. And so from here we can do exactly the same thing. There's really only a couple of changes within here versus the Post menu. First, there are no categories on pages, and so there's no way of categorizing a page the same way you can categorize a blog post. The other is that you can change the page attributes if you want. Now, you'll probably not be changing the default template. That gets a little bit complicated with you'd have to code a new template for this page to use. I wouldn't worry about that so much, but you can see that we have several templates available. One I have made specifically for the commute cost calculator, one specifically for the commuter services landing page and the employer services landing page, and so forth. But let's look at this one menu above this for parent pages. So if you publish a page immediately, it will be, let's say on this particular website, commuterservices.org/ whatever you named your page. But let's say you want it filed under another category. Let's say you want it as an employer service. Well, you can make the employer services page the parent page. So you go down here, click on that menu and find the employer services page. We see it right here. We select that, and now the web address will be commuterservices.org/employers/ whatever we name this page. And so that's a way of categorizing and organizing your pages in a different way than how you would categorize and organize blog posts. But it could be something you want to do if you'd like to make a subset page for one of our programs at Commuter Services. So other than that, the creating a page is just like creating a post. You add your text, add your title. You can publish immediately or schedule to be published into the future. It's all exactly the same. There is no comment section on a page. That is something you can code in if you really wanted to, but by default on our websites, that's not there. Otherwise, those are the differences between publishing posts and pages. If you want to edit any post or page that's already been made, you can go to All Pages under the Pages menu, or for Posts, All Posts. We'll take a look at the ones that have already been made. And here are all the blog posts that have already been made for Commuter Services. You hover over one, you can find the Edit button, and click on it, and it'll have all the information that's already been added about that blog post, and you can make changes accordingly and click the Update button. It's that easy, and so that's how you create and edit blog posts and pages within WordPress.